Zombie!
This show isn't that scary.
Were it so cheesy.
The nation filled with monster.
We interrupt this broadcast to bring you breaking news. Red vs. Blue Restoration has been delayed to spring 2024. Hey guys, it's Mr. TapeBall here. And today we got some disappointing news, but also maybe some hopeful news. I guess it's up to you guys to see. Recently, we found out through a TwitchCon 2023 vendor update of all things that Red vs. Blue Restoration will be delayed to spring 2024 instead of coming out this fall.
That announcement sucks!
Very sad to hear. Kind of frustrating that Rooster Teeth never made a official announcement of this delaying, and that we had to learn about it through a TwitchCon post of all things. But yeah, Red vs. Blue Restoration is delayed to 2024. Whether that's a good thing or a bad thing, I guess we'll have to wait and find out. I mean, we know there's been a lot of controversy going on with Red vs. Blue recently. If you guys aren't aware, recently Rooster Teeth decided to remove all of their animated content on YouTube and post it solely on their Rooster Teeth First website. They announced this through a very sincere announcement with Carrie, which was appreciated. If you guys don't know, Carrie has been working on Rooster Teeth pretty much since its beginning and has been a lead writer and also just a really nice personality throughout Rooster Teeth's tenure, an achievement hunter with Red vs. Blue, and especially with Ruby, as he's pretty much the lead writer of that show at this point. They justified this removal of all the Red vs. Blue content and all of the other animations such as campcamp, Ruby, and other shows as saying that they're not getting enough profit from advertisers on YouTube and that they'll increase profit by just having it on Rooster Teeth First. Which I guess makes sense, but it just seems like it's very bad timing because, if you guys don't know, Halo Infinite Season 5 Reckoning just released, and it's probably the most popular Halo has been since Halo Infinite launched. And people are probably going to be looking on YouTube for some cool Halo Machinima content, and the most popular one there has ever been is no longer there. I mean, I shouldn't say Red vs. Blue isn't entirely on YouTube because they did keep all of Season 1 and all of Season 17 on YouTube, which is kind of weird. I would have, if I was in charge of Rooster Teeth and we were removing Red vs. Blue from YouTube, I would at least keep at least the first season of each arc. Like, keep Season 1, Season 6, Season 13, and Season 15 on YouTube, just so that people can watch the beginnings of each of these new arcs, and if they're interested in it, then they can go on to First and enjoy the rest of the series. But yeah, it is kind of disappointing they ended up removing most of Red vs. Blue from YouTube, especially back in the day when they said, oh, we're always going to have Red vs. Blue on YouTube, we're going to give it its own channel, which is now the Rooster Teeth Animation channel.
YouTube channel. This exciting step in... Wait, the announcement is that we're on YouTube? That's right, all seasons of Red vs. Blue will now be available on YouTube. Can you believe it?
And it just kind of shows, I guess, that mindset can't be upheld. I mean, look at, like, even Miles Luna, the previous head writer of the Chorus trilogy in Red vs. Blue, and the creator of Campcamp, and a writer and voice actor in tons of shows like Ruby and Red vs. Blue on Rooster Teeth. Even he tweeted his disappointment with Rooster Teeth removing these shows from YouTube. And he does kind of suggest that fans should go out and try and buy the Blu-rays / DVDs of the older shows, which I'm definitely going to be doing. So you guys probably should too. Still hoping, though, once they fully release all of Red vs. Blue Restoration, they release a Red vs. Blue 20th anniversary, 20th in quotation marks, 20th anniversary box set containing all of the seasons like they did for the 10th anniversary. That would be amazing. But yeah, it is kind of frustrating. But as for the delay, I don't think this is this has any connection with the removal. Some people think it might be to make a better deal with Trocadero. If you guys don't know, Trocadero is the band that makes most of the Red vs. Blue music since it debuted in 2003, save for like some seasons when they just used Jeff Williams before he started doing exclusively Ruby music. But recently, Trocadero tweeted out that they've been trying to make a deal to make the music for season 19, and they wanted to get a lot of their old composers, a lot of the people they used to work with, to send vs. Blue out with a bang to have all of their party members work on the music, which is a really cool thing. But apparently Rooster Teeth, or more rather Warner Brothers, didn't want to meet these demands, so Trocadero was just basically said they're not going to be doing it, which is sad. I mean, they can probably get Jeff Williams to make the music anyway, or his daughter Casey at this point, since they do the music for Ruby, but they gotta have Trocadero in the final season of Red vs. Blue. You can't not. Like I said before, Joel, that's pretty much the soul or the heart of vs. Blue is the Trocadero music. Like, I don't know about you guys, but I have a ton of the classic Trocadero CDs, and I listen to those constantly in my car. I know the music isn't that listenable, I guess you could say, 24/7, but I always love the Trocadero music. It brings me back to nostalgia of the 2000s and 2010s. So some people think the delay is because of that, like maybe they're Rooster Teeth and Trocadero are working behind the scenes to try and negotiate a good contract with them making music for season 19. But I think there's a more plausible reason why Rooster Teeth decided to delay Red vs. Blue Restoration. If you guys remember in my previous Red vs. Blue video, I predicted, or hoped rather, that they would have released the Mark 6 helmet or armor for the Mark 7 armor core, so that all of the reds and blues can use unified updated armor set, because as I mentioned before in that video, in the Q&A sessions they were using the Mark 5B Halo Reach armor cores for most of the reds and blues, but not all that armor was accessible at the time, so they had like Caboose use the Mark 7 armor set along with Carolina, and that just didn't really mesh too well in my opinion. With the release of Halo Infinite Season 5 Reckoning, they released a new reward for achieving the max rank of hero in Halo Infinite's multiplayer, being the Master Chief Halo Infinite armor set, his Mark 6 version of Mark 7, which I gotta say, awesome reward for achieving max rank in multiplayer. Everyone's going to be playing multiplayer now 24/7 to try and get that armor. It's kind of frustrating that it's not a reward for completing Halo Infinite's campaign on Legendary or Lasso difficulty, but hey, what are you going to do? Can't really do much about that now. So I believe the delay could be delaying shoots, or they're doing reshoots of the first few episodes they recorded to use that armor. I'm assuming, or at least I would hope, 343 would just give the Rooster Teeth Machinimators the Master Chief armor automatically, as they did before in previous Red vs. Blue seasons, like how they automatically had Mark 6 during the filming of Season 9 and Reach. So I believe that could be a plausible, and it's probably the most likely reason for the delay, is them using that armor, which I think would be cool. I mean, the Master Chief Halo Infinite armor is pretty bulky compared to the other armor that the Reds and Blues have used before. I think it could still work, and in this case, Caboose could still use the Mark 5 helmet on the Mark 7 armor set, although I still think it would have been a little bit cooler if they ended up using just the Mark 7 helmet on the Mark 7 armor core to show that they're still going with updating their armor, although most people associate the Reds and Blues with the Mark 6 rather than the Mark 5 armor. At this point, I still think that would have been cool. Like, there was a fan-made trailer for a fan prediction of a new Red vs. Blue season called Red vs. Blue Heroes, where they took up the Mark 7 armor core, and that for one, that fan trailer just looks amazing, and that's kind of what I hope Red vs. Blue Restoration will be like. Check it out, it's amazing, and go support the guy that made it. I forget his name off the top of my head. I'll have it linked here, but yeah, it's just so cool. So you guys go check it out. And I gotta say, Halo Infinite Season 5 Reckoning is probably the best season released on Halo Infinite's tenure so far. I mean, you got the Master Chief armor for the achieving the max rank in multiplayer, a great choice. You got the return of Flood armor in Halo, which we haven't seen since Halo 4's Infection multiplayer, and also the Sarge 2 Sarge Harder trailer, as you guys saw earlier. And we got the return of Firefight, and not just Firefight, but forgeable enemy AI, which is incredible. We've never seen this in Halo before, and it just shows Halo is continuing to innovate in video game multiplayer, because I don't think there's forgeable AI like this in any other video game, at least not in a first-person shooter, not that I can think of at least. And people are already going crazy with forging these awesome firefight maps and firefight scenarios, and just the potential machinima that could be made using forgeable AI is just incredible. Like, I predict we'll see epic machinima, the likes of which we haven't seen since the Rise of the Spartans machinima back in Halo Reach by Arbiter 617, if you guys remember. Like, those scenes between the elites and the Spartans and the Marines, like, those were epic, and now we'll actually see them probably made even more amazingly with forgeable AI, and being able to use other enemies instead of just elites. Getting to see grunts, brutes, jackals, skimmers, and bosses. You can use bosses in Firefight, which is awesome. Here's hoping that in the next few seasons we'll be able to play as elites and maybe even brutes, and then I think at that point Halo Infinite will be pretty much complete. It's almost complete. I would say Halo Infinite is about 80% of the way complete compared to the old traditional Halo games. Right now, for me, Halo Infinite is way better than the Halo 5's multiplayer right now. I mean, sure, we still need Griffball, we still need Firefight matches in the multiplayer loading. Right now, you can only play Firefight in custom games or custom browsers. And they are adding new game types like Extraction from Halo 4. I think more people would have wanted Dominion from Halo 4, but that would have had a lot more work to be done. But still, it's cool that they're going back and adding older game modes. Maybe too, with this forgeable AI, I could see people recreating Halo 5 Warzone in a sense, and maybe Spartan Ops in a sense. So there's a lot of potential. And with the new Flood armor, that also provides a lot more potential for machinimas. I could see tons of people making new Flood machinima stories. You can basically make a Infinite Succor adaptation, as we saw in the Halo graphic novel, which would be pretty cool. While it's sad to see Halo and the rest of Rooster Teeth animation being removed from YouTube, and it's sad to see that Trocadero and Rooster Teeth are having conflicts, especially on the last supposed season of Red vs. Blue, there's still hope. I mean, for all we know, you could see all the Reds and Blues dressed up in the Master Chief armor core, which would just be awesome. Like, imagine seeing Donut in the Master Chief armor. Like, that's just gonna be hilarious. Also, I forgot to mention, this November, I believe November 7th, they're going to be releasing the Halo Combat Evolved Mark V Armor Core set for all the players. Although supposedly it's only going to be available in the shop, which kind of sucks, which means you'll have to pay like $20 for it. But that's still a really cool armor to have for Halo's anniversary. I think at this point it will be its 22nd anniversary. So yeah, and at this point it will be kind of for Red vs. Blue's 20th anniversary, because it's 2023. So that kind of makes sense. It would be cool to see them use the Mark V Halo Combat Evolved set in the new Red vs. Blue Restoration season. Like, maybe will be the armor that Caboose uses, who knows? So yeah, while there's a lot of disappointments going on with Rooster Teeth these days, and they are kind of understandable ones at a financial perspective, there is still a lot of things to be hopeful for. I'm still very excited for Red vs. Blue Restoration. I don't know about you guys. I hope it comes out early spring, maybe February, we don't know. They just said spring 2024. And I'm excited to see what the Halo fanbase and Halo machinimators do with all this new content. I can't wait to see all of the cool machinimas they make with forgeable AI and Firefight and the Flood armor cores. And it's just a really good time to be a Halo fan. Kind of a bad time to be a Red vs. Blue fan, but you know, you give and take, you know, I guess. I don't know. Here's hoping that spring Red vs. Blue Restoration will be starting to release in spring 2024 without any other errors or sad stories to come out. Comment down below what you guys are hoping to see in Red vs. Blue Restoration. What's your favorite part of Halo Infinite Season 5 Reckoning? And yeah, thanks again for watching, guys. My previous Red vs. Blue video has done very well, surprisingly, and I'm hoping to do do more of these as we learn more about what's going on with restoration going forward. Thanks for watching, guys, and have fun playing Halo.